according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
He put before them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that someone took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it has grown, it is the greatest of shrubs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make nests in its branches. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a yeast that a woman took and mixed with 3 measures of flour until it was all leavened. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field, which someone found and hid. Then in his joy, he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. And again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls. On finding one pearl of great value, he went and sold all that he had and bought it. And again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was thrown into the sea and caught every fish of every kind. When it was full, they drew it ashore, sat down, and put the good fish into baskets and threw out the bad. So it will be at the end of age. The angels will come and separate the evil from the righteous and throw them into the furnace of fire, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Have you understood all this? They answered, yes. And he said to them, therefore every scribe who has been trained for the kingdom of heaven is like the master of a household, who brings out his treasure, what is new and what is old, the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
Please be seated. God's grace and peace shine upon all his children gathered here to hear his words. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. The kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls and finds one. And the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was thrown into the sea and caught fish of every kind. The kingdom of heaven. What images do these words bring to mind for you? And you all have to answer something. Come on. Kingdom of heaven.
Pearly gates.
Pearly gates. What else we got?
God.
What?
God.
God. There's no wrong answer, so don't be scared.
Harps.
Harps.
Golden light.
Golden light.
Streets of gold.
Streets of gold. Jesus, right? So, okay. All right. Okay, good. All right. And when you see these images, what are you experiencing in those images? Peace.
Joy.
Joy.
Jubilation.
Jubilation.
Lord.
The Lord. Excellent. Okay. So, we know there's people out there who use metal detectors and, their thing goes beep, 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 beep whenever there's something in the ground, and it could be as exciting as a bottle cap, or it could be exciting as a diamond ring. You don't know until you go diggy, 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 you go, not again. But imagine that one time when your thing goes beep, 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 and it is a gold ring or a diamond ring or a rare coin. Imagine what that excitement must be like. Many of you I know have been to the beach and have searched for shells. I got to do that for the first time last year, and when I found a whole shell, I was so excited. It was like, oh my stars, this little bitty thing came all the way out of the ocean, and here it is before my feet, and I got so excited. I know that may sound silly, but I had never really seen the ocean or anything, and so to see that was just, it was so exciting. Yay. And then, as you know, many of us were camping together last weekend, and we had a good time. And we had 2 experienced fishermen, Eric and Jim, and they went about fishing. They left us all behind. And they went fishing. And when they came back with wonderful stories of their fishing expeditions and decided that last year Todd was the problem. Sorry, Becky. But they caught a lot of fish, and it was wonderful. And these are very good sportsmen, and they throw their fish back. So that's okay too. So they could have told us they caught, like something this big and we'd never know because they threw it back, right? Okay, well, now it's Sunday and we're all getting ready to come home and whatnot, and we're headed into Pinedale, and the people I call the Brady Bunch, which would be Rena and Duke's family combined, the Brady Bunch went fishing while they were in Pinedale. And when I got home Sunday night and settled in and whatnot, I got on Facebook. And lo and behold, there are the Brady Bunch's kids holding stringers of fish. They caught a lot. And on their face was joy and jubilation. Look what we did! Yay! And they were so excited because they didn't throw their fish back. So they had a lot of excitement on their face. Yay! Right? Okay. But now we look at these 6 examples and go, so what's that have to do with anything, Pastor? We got pearls and we got fish and we got seashells and finding things. What's up with that? Well, this is what's up with that. In all these examples, we found pure joy, peace, elation, leaping hearts, excitement, and experience. See, and that's what the kingdom of heaven is going to be like. I say this because the kingdom of heaven is an experience and it's not an idea. What if we just had the idea of what it would be like to find something in the dirt, or the idea of walking on the beach and thinking about a whole shell, and the idea of just catching a stringer of fish? Not as exciting. An idea, it's nice, and we need to have them because it leads to us making wonderful things. But the experience of all those things mentioned above makes us feel life is real. Because we did it. We got to do it. It's inside of us. It's a memory forever. So I'm going to ask you now, do you think you've experienced the kingdom of heaven here on earth?
Yes.
More? Yes? Just 2?
No.
Oh, okay. Lots. Okay, good. All right. I believe that you all have experienced the kingdom of heaven and may not have ever known it. These experiences don't have to be huge or life-changing, but they can be. I will share with you this. When I left my first husband, I was scared. It was me and my son, and I had no idea what was going to happen. But eventually, I realized I wasn't going to be hit anymore, and oh my gosh, it was the most liberating time in my whole life, and I couldn't even begin to explain to people what that felt like. But I knew that I had experienced the kingdom of heaven and the peace that I had finally found with not being afraid anymore. The peace that I found after leaving him, it calmed my whole soul. And I hadn't felt that for all the years that we had been married. I know that there and then the kingdom of heaven was within me. I had no idea that I would be getting power enough to leave that situation. But I knew that God has sent his kingdom to be inside of me, to realize, hey, it's okay to leave. You can get out of this, and I'm going to help you. There was the kingdom of heaven for me. Now, it was a huge thing in my life. Of course, I don't want anybody else to have to experience that particular way to feel the kingdom of heaven. But I'm sure we've all had those experiences. As a world, we've experienced the kingdom of heaven and the Berlin Wall coming down. We've heard the kingdom of heaven through Pope John Paul II when he forgave the man who tried to assassinate him. And of course, every Sunday, we revel in the kingdom of heaven in the body and blood that we receive from our risen Lord through communion. We all have ideas of what the kingdom of heaven will be like. And in these parables, Jesus had given to his disciples and all those who had ears to listen, Jesus tried to share with them what their experience in heaven would be like. He didn't try to share the idea of the kingdom of heaven, but the experience of the kingdom of heaven. And that experience has not changed in over 2,000 years. In fact, we have been